Cool. Hello, viewers, and welcome back to the social race. This one we're at Portugal for. It's a teams race, but all of them are different colours. So we've got the green team, the black team, the white team, the red team. Let me just double check on the other one. But yeah, at the moment, Psycho topping the timetable just behind Money Game. Money Game, the Weekend League 2 champion from last season, and Jolt J right up there, just about 2 temps behind. And he was someone that was very quick in the last season of the Weekend League Tier 1. We see Snoo going for a lap here, pushing. He's going to want to get out of that 12th place. Already the green team, though, I believe he is on the green team, even though there's a little bit of a different livery there. He is the only one that's kind of outside the top 5, so the green team looking very strong there for a good result. And just double checking on the actual team. So it's black, blue, green, red and white, these ones. I don't know whether he's going to improve on his lap here, but he's certainly pushing with Snoo. Let's try and get that time out of the last sector. Going to go out a little bit wider. Pushing on the throttle. Is he going to improve his lap here? Needs a good few temps there because he is a bit further behind. And he does, goes up into P7 there. So a really good lap from him there. We've got a few more drivers out on laps here. We've got Duchess, who is out on a lap for the red team. Going to want to improve his lap. And we've got a few returning drivers here, a few new ones that I'm not noticing in the chat. We've got GRL Dino, who is a returning player from the Tier 1 last season. I believe he did compete in the previous season as well there, but helping his team there, and Viper as well, who was racing in that championship. And it is looking quite close at the top there. There's only about 6 temps separating the top 7, but I think they've all got a little bit more time in their laps here. And we got the steps here. He's going to want to improve on his lap, coming around the final corner. And oh no, he's going into the pits. I thought he was on a lap there. He looked like he was definitely pushing the car. We've got Haroon Ali, who's definitely on a lap. He's about 10 or 2 temps down, sorry. Coming into the last sector, going to want to hook it around, and they're drifting out a little bit wide there, going around the last couple corners, gets it hooked up. And is he going to be able to improve on his time here? I think he's looking pretty good for it. He's definitely improving on his lap. Oh, and then decides to pit again. He seems to be really pushing, and then actually not on laps there. I think everyone just coming in now maybe to go on that last lap. I think Mr. Mancan might actually be pushing out there. He definitely looks like he's on a lap. I'm currently in P10. I think he is a returning driver, Mr. Mancan. He's looked quick in the past. Is he going to be quick on this game? Obviously, this game introducing new traction in there, and he's actually gone and set a purple middle sector here. He is definitely up on his time. And he's one to trouble Psycho here. Could really put a good lap in here for the, I believe he is in the white team, running a bit of a purple livery there, but he is definitely improving on his time and looking good for that P1. Is he going to be able to get it here? Coming around that final corner, it's all flat through there. And he only goes P6, must have lost a lot of time in that last sector. He looked purple in the middle, unless his first sector wasn't as good. But yeah, everyone else apart from him just currently sitting in the pits now, ready to go out on that last lap. I'm not sure anyone, oh, I'm so sorry, the timer has gone. So no one else is going to be improving in this session. So the drivers eliminated, I believe, are Predator, Stefan, Charles Max, Scacia, sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong, and Kev Potter down in 20th. So the only one in the green team out of that top 10 there. And yeah, looking strong on the green team there to go and get some really good points in this race. So definitely ones to look out for heading into Q2. And yeah, Jost Trekvos, also a returning player there. He is one to watch out for. One I myself was fighting in the Weekend League 2 just a couple seasons ago. And definitely a driver to watch out for. So, top 10 here are Psycho, Money Game, Jost, Jolt J, Advantage, Mr. Mancan, The Steps, Snoo, Haroon Ali, and Gerald Dino, who is looking a lot quicker on this game. Although he was did have a good pace at times on the last game, just wasn't able to always keep it on the track. But yeah, he is a good driver to watch out for there. And also rounding out the top 15, we've got Duchess in 11th, Jay Dogwin in 12th. I didn't quite catch the last few there. We're going to head into Q2 now. I think you definitely got to watch out for Psycho. He did drop out of the session, but I do believe he is back in now. It didn't even need to improve on that first time that he set there. I think it was a 1:17.1. So is he going to be able to improve on that lap time coming in towards Q2? And Money Game also looking quick there. He is obviously the Weekend League 2 returning champion. And I do believe that he will be competing in the Weekend League. That is coming up in just, I believe, a week or so. I should know because I'm competing in it. But yeah, we go to Monza for the first race, but that is only the preliminary race. And then afterwards, we're going to Qatar, I believe, which is, yeah, a circuit that I want to get used to, or it might be Australia for the first one. But yeah, some good tracks coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that one on Sunday at 8 p.m. and the Weekend League 2 at 5 p.m. on Sunday. But yeah, the drivers just coming out now for their first few laps here. We've got J Dogwin, Praise the Fatty, Money Game all out for laps. Psycho as well out for his first lap, and the Steps as well. See who's going to be getting the fastest lap time in there. So obviously Psycho might just want to set that one lap time first and then come back into the pits. So he might just want his qualifying quickly and done so he can save that set of tyres going into Q3, which is going to be crucial to have those two set of tyres if you're heading towards pole position, which I think he's got his sights on here. I think there's a couple of drivers that can definitely challenge him. Jolt J looks really quick in that first session there as well. And I think it's going to be a really good shot for pole position here. I think this game is bringing the drivers a lot closer together, and they should be able to get some good racing in here. I think the grid is very, very close, and they'll be able to have a great race here. So we've got Money Game just slowing off there. Oh, nearly hitting, I believe that was Praise the Fatty. Oh, no, it wasn't, sorry. So hard to get confused with all these the same colours on them. But yeah, Money Game going to be lining up a lap here, coming around the final bend now and getting on that power. He's got a couple cars ahead of him, but that shouldn't bother him. Might give him a little bit of a tow down the straight. Heading in towards turn one, he's absolutely committed there. Going the gears into third, down into second, and then going up the gears as he rounds out the first sector. Down into third for that left-hander. Gets good traction out of there, actually. Got a couple other drivers that are going to want to get some good laps in early here. We've got Psycho on a lap as well. He is pushing. Coming through the second sector. He's looking very, very quick, very planted, that car. Here comes Money Game. He's going to round out that final couple corners. Is he going to be able to get his car up there in this session? Been a little bit of a sketchy lap, but he rounds out the final corner. Is he going to be able to put it to a decent spot here? Only third fastest there, so not quite getting up there like you would want to. But yeah, Money Game down in fifth position. I think he had a little bit of a scuff lap here, and then Psycho goes and sets a 1:16.8. Wow, that has really set the field apart. But only 2/10 actually ahead of Joltje, who's improved up to a 17.0. And that is a very, very promising lap there for him to try and take pole position in the next session here. But again, the green team looking very, very strong there. It's just Jost that has still got to set a lap out of that team, and I believe Snoo might be in that team as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he is in that team as well. And then Geraldino, who is in the pits at the moment. We've got Duchess, who's in the pits, and Praise the Fat, who seems to have stopped on track. I think he's just letting a few drivers go through there. But yeah, what a lap from Psycho there. He is really going to be the one to beat going into Q3. I think Jolt J Advantage has actually set a pretty decent lap there, about 3/10 off, but I think he's good for a P4, maybe P5 to start off this race for the white team. And Mr. Mancan up there as well. He was looking quick in Q1 as well, wasn't he? So I think he's going to be one to watch out for there. And yeah, we've got all the drivers just coming back into the pits now. Got CT Pat on a lap though here. And he is a returning driver. I believe he was competing in the Weekend League 1 for the last season. And is he going to round his lap out here? Only improves up to P9. So not a perfect lap for him there. He's going to want to improve on that. But he has run out of ERS there. I'm wondering whether he did that before the line. So he might have been on a second lap if he kind of scuffed his first. And yeah, wasn't quite able to improve there. So the race is going to be a 35% race after this full qualifying. So we've got another session to come in Q3 for the top 10 shootout. It is going to be interesting here. Who's going to come out on top? Obviously, a little bit of a longer race than the 25% races that we were running in last season. But these races are going to be quite enjoyable. And then we've got the Weekend League coming up as well, obviously. These social races just going to determine how quick these drivers are compared to their opposition. And we've got GRL Dino, who is going to be competing in the next season of the Weekend League. He's going to be wanting to get some good laps in here. I believe he has moved himself back to wheel, and he's trying to improve on his driving. He definitely looks like he's done that here. He's looking good for definitely a top 10 position here in the race. Here he goes, pushing his way through the first sector. Hasn't set a lap time yet, but neither is Jay Dogwin, Praise the Fatty, or Duchess. So yeah, he's going to want to get a decent time in here. But there's quite the field spread after Psycho setting that 16.8, and then down to Gilston, I believe, in 11th place at the moment on a 1:18.9. And then, like I said, the other drivers just not having set lap times yet. But Dino has set a purple middle sector there. He is definitely improving on his lap, and it's been a very tidy lap here for him as well, just riding on board with him. And he's going to want to get himself definitely into the top 4 with that kind of lap. I think the track is definitely improving now, obviously, as the session goes on. But Psycho having set that really good lap time, no one's been able to challenge it so far. Is Dino going to be able to move up? Well, after that purple middle sector, only going P9 there. So yeah, I think he'll be a little bit disappointed with that. I think some of the drivers may be running a bit different setups. They seem to be a little bit slower on the straight, some of them losing out in that final sector and those last couple of corners there. But yeah, Dino only going into P9 there then. And yeah, he's going to have to obviously go again. Still got enough time in 6 minutes, but we got some more drivers that are coming out now to improve. We've got Psycho, he's trying to go on another lap and improve again. And Jay Dogwin out on laps, praise the fatty, setting their first laps of the session. And here he goes, going through the middle sector now, and down to the, oh, sorry. Oh yeah, he's just starting a lap, isn't he? Sorry. As he goes through the first sector for the red team. Not many of the red teams still left in, unfortunately. It's just Jay Dogwin and the Duchess now, I believe. The rest of the drivers are either in the black team or the white team and green team. A bit disappointing for them. Obviously, the drivers are racing in the teams, but they will be racing for themselves out on that track. They're going to be wanting to push. And Jay Dogwin, again, setting the purple middle sector. It must have been not a great middle sector for Psycho, maybe compromising some of that downforce for the straight, and Psycho able to set a really good lap time there. And Jay Dogwin rounding that final corner. Is he going to be able to improve? I think he's definitely on for a lap here and goes up to P5. So that is a good lap from him compared to his Q1 time there. And yeah, put him in a good position to get into the top 10 there. I think there's going to be a few drivers obviously wanting to beat him, but I think he's definitely in a good position there to challenge in the race as well, if he's able to get inside that top 10. And we got the steps. He is on a lap now and just pushing his way through the final sector. Going to try and improve on his lap, currently down in P7. There's not much of a gap between him and Mr. Mankan, trying to improve. Doesn't improve on his lap time there, unfortunately. Got Gilston out on a lap here as well. He's riding out his car in the white team, and definitely going to want to improve on his position, as the white team are the ones challenging the green team at the moment. Rounding out the final corner. And stays 14th, unfortunately, there. About a 10th off CT Pat. He's going to have to go again, but I'm not sure he's got enough time with 3 minutes to go. Might have enough battery left. Oh, he doesn't, unfortunately. He's got about 11% left, and he's not going to be able to get a better lap in than that, I don't think, in this session, unless he can very quickly get that back to the pits and strap some new tyres on there. We got Duchess, who is going out for his first lap as well for the red team, so he's going to want to get a good lap in with only 3 minutes remaining now. And there is also Snoo, who is on an out lap. Money Game, who is also on a lap here. He's going to try and improve his position and goes up to P6. So a really good lap there for Money Game. And yeah, he's happy with that one, I think. About 5 tenths off, so it's going to be difficult for people to try and beat that and get up into the top 10 now. We've got Snoo out there, and Mr. Mankan is definitely going to want to improve on his lap, because he won't feel safe down there in P7. Advantage as well here. He's going to want to get up a position, but not able to improve on his lap there, unfortunately. And we got Money Game as well. I think he's about to restart a new lap. I think he's just saving up his battery there, and I think he's going to go again. And Psycho is also out there, although I really don't think that he needs to improve his lap at all. But here he goes. He's going to start a new lap now. Going to try and improve and beat that 16.8. Oh, there's a bit of traffic as he heads his way towards turn 1 with Jolt J coming out, and Yost is also out for a new lap as well. So the ones at risk from this session, he's got Praise the Fatty down in 11th. We've got Geraldino, who is on an outlap now and going to want to get himself into the top 10. He's on an 18.3, so the time to get into the top 10 is literally thousandths of a second that they need to improve here to be able to get themselves into a better position. As advantage there goes into P3. I didn't see that. Has definitely improved his time there. And yeah, he'll be happy with that. He's definitely going to be safe going into the final part of qualifying, but showing some real pace there with only about 3 tenths behind Psycho, but right behind Advantage there as well. So yeah, he's gonna be one to watch. Definitely going into Q3. And Psycho goes and sets a 16.6. What a lap time there from him. And obviously, I don't think anyone is going to be able to beat that now. That is one lap that I think Psycho is going to be remembering for a while. That is quite the time, but might even be able to improve on it in Q3. He's been slowly improving on his lap time as he's been going through the sessions. And Jolt J having a big moment there, going through the first sector. Not sure that he needs to improve on his time, but he's going for it anyway. And we got Yost out there as well. Money Game backing off his lap there. So he's not going to be improving his lap. And he is stuck down in P6 now, but I think he'll be safe on that 17.5. He's got quite a bit of a margin. As who's that improving their time? It was, I believe it was Mr. Mancan or the Step. Someone has improved their position there. I didn't quite catch that one. As we round out the session then. So Psycho, the top driver there, he's the one to beat going into Q3. We got Jolt J just a couple tenths behind him, improving there on his final lap, even with that a bit of a mistake going for the first sector. So he is looking very, very strong as well. And then we've got Money Game as well, who's looking pretty quick there, down in P6. Advantage was in P3, Yost in P4. Oh no, sorry, Yost in P3 must have changed around. Advantage in 4th, Haroon Ali in 5th, J Dogwin in 6th, Money Game in 7th, Geraldino in 8th, Mr. Mancan in 9th, and 10th was the Steps. The ones eliminated from that round was Snoo, the Duchess, CT, Pat, Praise the Fatty, and Gilston was eliminated from that session. So yeah, not great for them. But yeah, Dino able to get out of that session. Really well done to him there. And yeah, only a second between the top 10. It was quite close there at times, but yeah, it was just it was Psycho that was just able to kind of get that edge on the grid. But definitely looking like Jolt J is the one to challenge him. But I'm not sure he's going to quite be able to get the lap in. Who do you think is going to be on pole position? I definitely have to put my money on Psycho here, if I'm being serious. But yeah, I think we could have a surprise. Jolt J was very quick here in the last weekend league. I believe he scored a P2 or a P3 here. So he's had decent pace on the last game, and that seems to have carried through going into this game. And Pushadino saying in the chat that he's used too many tyres, so he might be struggling actually going into this session. But I think a P10 might put him in a good place. You know, you never know with crashes at the start and potential for you know making some positions. He might be able to make a really good impression on the race. And Duchess has left the session. Oh, I believe they were in 15th or 13th in the last session, so I think hopefully we'll be able to get them back in. And you just got all of the drivers except Dino with no tyres. They are all coming out for laps now. And we got Jost coming out for a lap here. He's going to want to get into the top 3. Been quick all session. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a good lap in here. And here comes Psycho coming off with his outlap as well. But Jost pushing through the first sector here. He's looking quick on his delta. Breaking down in towards the tight left-hander. This one's always off camber. As he swings it through the left-right chicane. This one here is quite fun in the car. I believe it's flat in this game. I haven't actually tried out this track yet, but yeah, going purple in the first sector, sorry, the middle, but obviously he has not had all the other drivers going yet. I believe Psycho might just be able to improve on that time, but rounding through the final couple of corners here, he's looking committed through there. Is he going to be able to improve on his lap and be able to put it above the steps and advantage who set laps so far? He does. Goes into a 16.9, which is a very competitive lap there for him, with advantage on a 17.0. So both of them setting really good laps. And then Mr. Mankan goes and sets a 16.9. So everyone improving on the laps here as they get more and more used to the track and more used to pushing it through qualifying. But that is a really good time there from Mr. Mankan. And yeah, these drivers are really pushing to the maximum here to try and get the pole position. And we've got quite a few drivers now that could be challenging for pole. And Psycho's actually invalidated his lap and gone into the pits. So he's struggling in this last part of qualifying. And is that going to put him on the back foot for his second lap? Won't have a baseline to go by. Most drivers will go out there, set their installation lap, which they'll hope is obviously going to be a good lap. Not the installation lap, but their first kind of push lap. But it gives them a good delta to go against for that second lap. And unfortunately, Psycho hasn't been able to do that. Might just about have enough time if he gets straight back out to do that. But I reckon he'll feel like he's quick enough to try and get that pole position just on the one lap. But that would be quite the feat to pull that one off. But obviously the track will be quicker at the end, so we'll see what he does here. But yeah, a few other drivers peeling off into the pits. We've got Geraldino, who is on a lap here, and he is pushing now, even though he's got those. I think these might be used tyres that he's pushing on now. And then he'll switch to the fast tyres at the end, the ones that will be a bit more grippy. But yeah, pushing himself through the last couple of corners here. And I want to improve on that, and goes up to P5, setting a similar time that he did in Q2. But obviously with Psycho and Jolt J not having set lap times yet, does put him up into P5. So you'd assume if Psycho and Jolt J will improve on that time, if they're able to get a good lap in here on the second time of asking, that they would improve above that P5 for Dino. So we'll say a P7 now, but he might be able to get a good time in after setting that delta now, and able to improve on his lap time. Then Psycho has done what I thought he would, and he has come out for an outlap. He's going to go set a quick lap time now, give himself a good delta to go against. And then he'll be able to get that good second lap in there for him. Also, Money Game, I believe, behind him is on a lap as well. And these drivers are going to be pushing to the absolute limit to get their lap time in here in Q3. Psycho around in the final corner, going to get the DRS open and start his flying lap. Let's see if he's able to set a good banker lap time here. Going through the first corner, absolutely committed. A little bit riding over the curbs there as he chucks his way through the first sector. All smooth though, coming out of there. Looked very quick through this first sector all session. And yeah, looking very committed through there. It just looks like he can put the car just in the right place. And he does, sets a purple in the first sector. Not sure if we're on used tyres when we're on board with him here. But he is looking quick nonetheless. And yeah, sets that purple first sector, definitely looking like he's on for that pole position, and swinging his way round this right-hander, which is a little bit slow in the last game. Might be a bit quicker in this game. Like I said, I've not tried it out yet, unfortunately. Going really wide there, though, to compromise his line, but then getting the good exit coming out of that corner and rounding through the last couple bends now. Here he comes. Is he going to be able to improve on his lap time? Oh, sorry, he hasn't set a lap time yet. But anyway, he's going to be able to improve on his lap time. And is he going to be able to put it on pole position as he comes through the final corner? I'd say that he is. He's going to be pushing, and it's a 16.6. Wow, what a lap time from him there. That is really impressive from Psycho. Puts himself 3/10 ahead of Mr. Mancan, and that was a really good time from Mr. Mancan as well. But means that the white team are now in P2 and P4, and obviously the green team with Jolt J having not set that lap time yet, puts them only first and third. I mean, technically they are still ahead, but yeah, they were looking even stronger from Q2 times. We got J Dogwin here, who is on a lap as well. And currently sitting in P9, but set a good couple of times in Q2. So looking like he could potentially challenge Geraldino for P6. You never know, he could get higher up, but that is where it's looking more like he is challenging at the moment, the top three being the strongest, and obviously Psycho being the strongest of them all here at Portugal at the moment. But pushing his way towards the final sector now. Does go purple through the middle sector. He's 9/10 off on his time. It's not quite enough to be challenging the top three, I don't believe. But yeah, if he's able to hook up this final sector, can definitely improve on his lap time and potentially get up into the top five here. Rounding the final corner now. And this would be a good haul of points for the red team if he's able to put his car higher up, and goes up into P6. So a good improvement from him there, and actually only about a 10th and a half there behind Money Games. So yeah, definitely a good time from him there. I think he definitely would have had a bit more time in that if he'd have just perfected a couple more corners where he just missed a couple of apexes. But yeah, looking strong there is J Dogwin for the race. And we've got Haroon Ali, who is also on a lap at the moment. Couple of other drivers that are out there. Money Game. We've got Advantage on an outlap. Mr. Mancan, sorry, who's back out there again. I don't think Psycho's going to set another lap time now. I think he's just set that benchmark, and then everyone else is going to have to catch him up here. And what a lap time he's set in there, and his one and only time as well. I said it was going to be difficult without that banker lap in, and he does it anyway. He goes up and sets a 1:16.6 and proves me wrong there. But yeah, looking strong on this game, and I believe he is competing in the weekend league as well. So he's definitely going to be one to watch out for the championship coming up next season. As Haroon Ali does improve up to P7 behind J Dogwin though. So his lap time improvement has not been able to be beaten by Haroon Ali. And I don't think he'll be improving anymore in this session with only a minute to go. He might be able to get round, but he's going to be on used tyres, and it's going to be difficult to improve on that lap. We got Money Game, who's also on a lap, and Advantage, who also looks to be pushing his way and trying to improve, because it's very close to Yost there for P3, so he's going to want to get up into that P3 position, or even better, because he's not that far behind Mr. Mancan as well. And the steps wanting to set a lap here, and he's gone up into P6. So a good lap from him there as well, as he improves his way through the field. Does actually push J Dogwin down. And Mr. Mancan starting out his lap here. He's looking very, very quick in this session. Is he going to be able to get close to Psycho? I'm not sure he's going to be able to challenge him, but he'll want to secure his P2 position right now, because I don't think he'll quite feel safe there with everyone breathing down his neck. And as I say that, Advantage improves up into P2 and only about a 10th behind Psycho. So Psycho might be sweating a bit now that these drivers that are out there are going to improve. I don't think that was an improvement from Mr. Mankan through the first sector. Doesn't go purple through the middle either. I'm not sure he's improving quite enough to be able to get his way up into the top 2 positions here. But he's going to do his best to try and get up there. And Yost is also pushing. I don't know whether he's going to be able to make his way up into the top 3. But Mr. Mankan rounding out the final couple of corners now. He's only a little bit down on his lap time. I don't know whether that's on his time or Psycho's, but he doesn't improve, stays third, or he does improve slightly, sorry, but only stays third. And Yost now could be able to improve, but he's gone off and he is facing the wrong way. So that is really unfortunate for Yost that he is not going to be able to improve and then gets beaten by Jolt J, who gets that lap in at the final minute. I said he hadn't set a lap time yet, and he was one to watch out for, and goes up into P4. And Psycho was out there on another lap, and even improves to a 16.580, but it was an invalidation. And then GRL Dino, is he going to be able to get up there and improves to P8 right at the final there? And that is really impressive from Dino to be able to get that up into P8. But Psycho, the one that everyone has to chase, then going into turn 1. Advantage in second place, Mr. Mankan in third, Jolt J in fourth, Yost in fifth, Money Game in sixth, The Steps in seventh, Geraldino in eighth, J-Dogwin in ninth, and Haroon Ali in 10th. And yeah, going into the race, I think Psycho's going to want to get that advantage at the start. It's going to be interesting to see what tyre strategy all the drivers go for. Obviously, a lot of them would have burned through a lot of their soft tyres before going into this race, so it might have to be a medium to hard strategy. I'm not quite sure how the tyres is going to last up here. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's able to stay onto their tyres the longest. This game, your tyres can become very, very bad quite quickly if you're not too careful. And yeah, when you come into the end of the stint and your tyres are quite worn, you will notice it. And if someone gets the undercut on you, it is very powerful in this game. So Psycho's got to watch out for that. But it is wet in the race as well. So we're going to have rain going into the race. So sorry, it is going to be intermediate conditions, I believe, for the race. I didn't even realise that it was going to be wet for the Grand Prix. Yeah, going to see who is going to get the best start here. Obviously, Psycho's going to want to defend his P1 going into the first corner.